artgenie.com. Did I say that right? Artgenie.com. And it's a visual art gallery. And in 2019, she achieved a certificate in discovering history through artworks at Harvard. Now get this. Last year, she was selected out of 2,000 international applicants to take part in an international artist in residency at a place called Château d'Orquevaux in France, Paris. So she's a well-traveled lady, this one. Let's give her a warm welcome as she tells us more about owning your creativity.
Can I sit down?
You can.
Can I sit down?
Yeah, you can. Cool, that's better.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. With all due respect, I'm just going to sit down so that I'm not too nervous, then I'm collapsing here. So I'm more comfortable when I'm sitting down. Okay, so my name is Nomonde Fihla. I married into the Zulu clan, the Ngemas. And I live here in Midrand as well. And yeah, I'm also part of Ward 112. So I'm not so good at speaking. I'm a creative, so I'm more of a doer than a speaker. So I'll try my best. Okay, so I moved from Pietermaritzburg to go and stay in the kingdom of Eswatini when I was 6 years old to live with my granny who was a dressmaker. All right, so I did primary school there, and I also did my high school, and then I moved. So I'm in the creative space, and I've got so much to say, so I think I'll just try and structure it properly so then you can understand. As a creative, I knew that, I love art and all of that stuff, because for me it started when I was still living in Pietermaritzburg with my mom and dad. And my dad was such a creative, so he had like a drawing book. And with his drawing book, there was this one rose that I liked so much. So every time when I was 3 years old, I'd just keep imitating that rose. And I tried it over and over and over until I got it right when I was only 3 years old. And that's when I just started loving to draw and to paint, And then from there, all I ever did at school was listen and just, every time the teacher is talking, I'm just drawing. Like even in the bathrooms where you find so-and-so was here. I was that girl with drawing by the bathrooms, drawing the desks. So everywhere I'm just drawing, And then I started thinking when I was in primary school in a kingdom of Eswatini, how do I make money out of art? So I had a drawing book with everything, a CD covers. So other people had song books, I had a drawing book. So I would draw like the cover of the CDs in every page, and then it's fashion. And then I'd rent out my drawing book to the students. So they'd pay me R1 for a day, which was a lot back then. And that's how I used to make my pocket money. And then from there, I started having a fashion art book. So because my granny is a dressmaker, I would rent out the fashion art book to students for them to get inspiration for what they're going to wear for prom. So I'd rent that out, and then they'd pay me for renting out the book, and then they would select whatever they want, and then I'd go home and design it with my granny, and then we sell it. So I was always hustling. And in between break time, other kids are playing, I'm already doing hair, fast. So everything is around my hands. I see things, I imitate, I create. And I always say, creatives are closer to God. So yeah, we are the weird ones. And okay, fast forward, and then growing up in that small country, you're limited to such a few things. You're a policewoman, you're a nurse, it's just like a lawyer, it's just a few things. And I always felt like, there's more to this world. It cannot just be this, it cannot end here. And then I came back to South Africa, I studied marketing. Got to second year at TUT, I realized there's maths. I'm like, oh no. Here we go again. I was very good at personal selling, but mere numbers, no thanks. So second year, I got frustrated, and then I moved to Joburg. When I got to Joburg 17 years ago, I got here, I realized there was so much stuff to study in the creative world, and I went to AAA School of Advertising, and then I did desktop publishing, which is graphic design. I was so happy, I was so alive. And there's so much color. So now I'm just doing all these things, and then I got my first job. So now I was working, doing magazines for Mnet, NEF, BMF, designing logos, rebranding for Sanas. I don't know if you know Sanas, DTI. That logo, I created it. Yes. So just to mention a few, but I've done a lot of work. Even when I'm driving on the highway, I'm like, that's my work, So also good at that. But then as time went on, I'm such a creative. Going to the office every day, I would literally change my desk every day, make it look colorful, because I'm getting bored. And I love what I do, but it's just being at the office every day. I'd feel so frustrated. And then I got bored, and I was like, no, man, I want to do more. I went to face-to-face beauty school, and I did diploma in makeup artistry and aesthetics. All right, now I'm happy again. I'm alive again. And so my graphic design, I still do it, and that's my job number one. Okay, registered company, I still do for small businesses. Company number two, now I'm a makeup artist. My company is called The Makeup Home. That's still running. Okay, I'm in there, and I'm doing so great. I'm the best student in class, and I'm just flourishing. I go to Gallagher Estate for professional beauty, and I'm doing body art. Yeah, so it's like a competition they have every year. It's nails, it's hair, it's makeup. So for makeup, it's body art, full body. I'm so alive in that moment. And I won that competition, so I had to go and represent South Africa in Hong Kong. Yeah, I don't do anything if I'm not going to win. So now I'm there and I'm doing my thing. Okay, come back. And then after having kids, and my kids have grown now, I'm thinking, okay, you know what? My first love is painting and drawing. Now I'm ready. Now I have the money to... Oh, and also, I've done all the funding companies that are here in SA. I'm not going to mention, you know them. The ones where they say, please apply. I'm still applying even now. I've done my presentations. I've done the bigger dreams because I'm well-traveled. So I see things internationally. I'm like, we don't have this back home. And then I come back and I'm like, pitch. And they're like, no, man, this is too big. I'm like, for who? We can do it, And you get judged because, first of all, you're a woman. Second, you're still young. At least now I'm growing and I'm older. But it's always like you cannot think that far. The least we can do for you, we can give you funding for a salon, butchery, a shisanyama. I'm like, no, but you can't put us in a box where we are only limited to doing just a few. I want to build a museum. I want to build a wax museum where we have all our statues and all of that stuff. We don't have it here in South Africa as a country. No, you can't have that. It's too much of a dream. It's too big. But anyways, okay, so I've done the fundings, guys, and yeah, just like what you said, that you need to start saving. So yeah, I love nice things, but I can't afford those things, so I just go for cheaper options and save money and invest in my business. So during that whole makeup job that I'm doing, I've done so many celebrities' makeup, and I always say I allow my work to do the talking. And I'm always in the background, in the shadow, and I'm like, it's like, you that girl? I'm like, yes, but no, let's focus on the work. So, I've had big clients like your Standard Bank, so I'm always behind the scenes shooting production and all of that stuff. And I was so blessed to get one of the BEE sponsorships from the clients that I work with to actually take girls to go and study what I studied under my company. And I took those girls to school, paid for their school fees. They also graduated with a diploma in makeup artistry. And then I took them under my wing, under the makeup home. So every time we have a big gig, we come as a beauty squad, an entourage of these amazing girls that are just like mini-me's. So every time I also get overbooked, I'll send them to go and do those jobs because they're just as good as me now. Okay, so those are one of the achievements also that I'm very proud of. And then moving forward now, I'm here now doing Art Genie, which is company number 3. I think this is the last one now. I don't wanna do another company. So this is where it all started. I'm doing it now. I feel like I'm more relaxed now, and I have money to. It's a virtual art gallery. Why online? It's because, guys, it's tough being black and it's tough being a woman. I mean, this industry is mostly white dominated. So we do have a lot of black artists, but now we don't find space in these galleries because it's always like, who are you? What's your name? And who are you associated with? So, I mean, some of us, we're still trying, it's still new, we're still breaking into it. So because I'm so exposed to so many things now. I'm like, no, man, we don't need, and thanks to COVID, because now we started thinking out of the box. I'm like, no, man, I don't need to get a space and transform it into a gallery to promote art for people. Like, I'm done spending money on ideas and all of that stuff. But I said, no, I'm gonna do it online and then get all the artists' work and then do the gallery there, sell their art, and it's been amazing. Like, I'm so happy that I'm part of it. It's an interesting journey, and oh man, it's so refreshing also. So it's something that I'm still starting, but I know that it's gonna grow because, I mean, there's a gap in the market. And we don't need to be booking people's spaces now and beg people to display art. So what else? Yeah, so those are the 3 things that I do. And it's okay to do a lot of things, I guess, especially if you are passionate about it. So I dream in color. All my 3 businesses come down to a canvas. It can be a bare face. My job is to make you look beautiful and confident. It can be a bare canvas. My job is to fill it up with paint and make your house look very warm. It can be, what else? Yeah, anything with color, I'm there. And yeah, I always try and make my work do the talking because I feel like if people see your work sometimes, and I'm talking out of experience, if people see your work, they'd love it. But the minute you walk in and they see your face, and then it's all of a sudden, it's about, you know, there's something wrong, but you loved it 2 minutes ago, but now you're putting a face to it, and then all of a sudden it's not too nice anymore. So, yeah, I just do that, guys. And please feel free to ask me questions.
Great. Thank you so much. I don't meteleng mato. She's lovely. I just love her. Like, I just want to, you know, be in your space. She's just amazing. And she's very warm. And I think I found another career for you. I know that you say that you're shy, but your voice is so rich. You could actually have like a radio gig. You know that? You've got this voice, man. Think about it. Thank you. You know, the investors are agreeing with me. So do we have any questions for Sis Nomonde? Yes? Okay, I've got one that I've noted here. Another question. Sensitizer. Oh, Okona, thank you.
Hello all.
Hi.
Hi Nomonde.
Hi, sis.
Mina lives at the Joella Mushamnyane. I have a jewelry manufacturing company. I specialize in bespoke diamond jewelry. Mina, you inspire me. Yabona uyasho ukuthi you were coming up with ama pitch to ama funding companies wangapha, and none of them were successful, but then you still managed ukuthi ube successful kule nto yenzayo and go abroad. So nami, that's what I'm about, like coming from eKasi, ngenza ijewelry. It's like introducing abantu to into sonke siyazi kwasa nami, before I went to school for jewelry manufacturing, bengazi ukuthi you want jewelry, you go to a jewelry shop, ane, you buy a jewelry. But I never had leyo idea like ukuthi like imagine ahlala phansi a handmaker jewelry from granules. You understand? But I went for it. So ukuba sekasi kakhulu for mina, it's a challenge when it comes to indaba yokuthi you must teach people ngalento. I must teach people ngento ngefield engene kuyo, and it's white dominated nakhona. And you pitch to people, they look at you and they respond ngokuthi that's bigger than yourself, girl. Yin leyo for wena, yabo. And market yakho, are you going to be able ukuthi ube consistent ngayo yonke indlela opusha ngayo business yakho as a black girl from eKasi? So ama social media handles wakho asiwatholanga or engawazwanga, but I'd like to further communicate with you ngezinto eziningi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okay, it was not a question, eh? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so for those that are interested in art, you can find it on www.artgini.com. Yeah. And you'll find all these amazing black artists from all over Africa.
Hi, sis, how are you?
Good, thanks. And you?
Good. Okay, with me, outside my 9 to 5, I'm actually into fashion. But I realize what I'm not gifted in is the drawing part of it. Like, we can put things together, but it's almost like I have to sell with pictures because I don't. Yes. So I think what I'm asking is, if you don't have that, if you don't have the ability to draw and put things together like on a drawing, how would you go about it then? Like, what route should one actually consider? Because the sewing and pattern making, that's fine, but it's almost like I can't put it in a drawing.
Okay.
So I don't know how,
it's very easy. So you have it in your head.
Yeah.
And then you meet someone that can create, like sketch.
Okay.
So you transfer your vision to this person, and the person can make it possible. So it's you with your brains, and then it's the person that's sketching, and then it's you taking the sketch to the person that will make the comment.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dineo, and I'm passionate about people who are living in their purpose. So I want to ask, how long did it take you for you to start living your purpose?
You mean, when did I start feeling okay?
Yes. Like, at what point did you start working in your purpose and having that assurance that this is what I'm called for?
The calling. So for me, it's always been there, you know. And but now, also remember, if you're a creator, you're always broke. You're always broke. So it started with, okay, I can't afford this. I'll sew my own clothes. When I walk into a room, because image is everything, and you don't have money, but you still have to show up. I'm very good at showing up. I respect time. I'm very Nazi when it comes to time. And yeah, I've got my little obsessions with little things that don't matter to other people, but it has taken me so far, right? And I've done, because I'm so good at showing up, I'm always attending events like this, networking sessions. This is before I started being okay financially. So I'd attend all of these little things. I'm there. Like, I just show up. I never stop showing up. And I interact with people. And it's okay, even if I'm alone. Like, I date myself. I go and meet a group of ladies. Hi, I like your makeup. I like your earrings. From there, we are just friends. And it's always like, you know, Yeah, so I started being okay when I started working, which was the graphic design job. And then, yeah, for me to go to the makeup school, for me to do 2 jobs, to have enough money to start buying my paints. And I converted my garage, so my car parks outside, so then I have a studio, an art studio in the garage. Yeah.
This is Nomonde.
Aha.
I'm here.
Yes.
No, for me, I think you epitomize what is like black is beautiful, right? I'm in the transformation space, and often, like how she mentioned, you feel out of place in these spaces. Because first you mentioned that you're in art gallery, you're in body art. I mean, these are things that normally you don't find a lot of black women. So how did you end up feeling like you belong in that space and staying true to yourself without feeling like you wanted to assimilate? Because I asked this question because I really do believe that we need to start building our own brands, right? So I suppose you're trying to build one of the best art galleries that we've had online. But how do you fit into that space without assimilating?
Okay. I hope I answer what you're asking me. From my understanding, yeah, like my makeup gigs would make me travel. So I'm in New York shooting a movie, right? After shooting, I'm there in Chelsea looking at all these art studios and seeing how people move, how people do things. But I'm there doing makeup and shooting a movie, right? When I move to Hollywood, I'm still shooting. But once we wrap, I'm going for the art things. So I'm just researching. And I'm like, okay, I know our black people are so talented, all right? But we don't have, not that we don't have, we are closed not to be able to go in. Because if you go in, we'll win. We will just win, you know? So for me, it's like someone has to start, and I'm just starting, you know? And I'll groom other young creatives. So then if anything happens to me, I don't die with my vision. It continues with the next generation. And I'm part of that generation where we are starting all over again. You know, I mean, they sold us dreams that do this, you'll be this in life. And then 30 years later, you think, how come it's still not happening? You know, so we are the ones that have to sacrifice so then it's easier for the next generation. And I mean, you have Mom Esther Mahlangu. You know Mom Esther Mahlangu, the Umama Mandebele, right? Her life is not documented, okay? And it's like, we only see a bit of her, but we see a lot of her work, right? So I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to, because creatives just want to stay there in the little dark area and they don't want to be known. But I'm trying to change that with myself. I'm also trying to change it with the other kids. You know what? Let's not be shy with our talents. Let's just, be there. People must be able to access us anytime and use your social medias, use everything, you know. And I hope I answered you. Huh? Okay.
Hi, Nomonde.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. I'm glad that you spoke about Esther. So my question is, so actually realized that with a lot of creatives, they actually struggle with formalizing their art or creative work, or even monetizing their artwork. Yeah. So how do you put a price on your art, and how do you get to formalize everything, like Esther, as you explained?
How do you put a price? First of all, you know for sure that art supplies are not cheap, all right? It's an expensive hobby. If you have a child who likes painting, please support it, but it's very expensive. You're gonna get frustrated and you're gonna say, this thing won't, it won't help. No, it's expensive. And first of all, you know, you price your products, you know how much you're spending already, okay? And then it depends on the sizes as well. How big is your artwork? You know, because some people can actually have like the small ones, and then I do big ones. How much time do you spend on it? Are you using acrylic? Are you using oil? Oil dries after 3 to a month. 3 weeks to a month. And I always say that if you are not known as an artist, just charge your normal market price, which is like for a painting 90 by 60 centimeters, let's say 4,000. Let's start there, 4,000. And this is a one piece. Once you are known as an artist, that small 90 by 60 centimeters, you'll be selling it at 65,000 rands. I've got friends that are painters. Their paintings are selling at like 80,000 per art piece. Black people here in South Africa, and they are doing great things. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Once you're known as a person, that's when the prices keep going higher. But yeah, you still find people that sell art pieces for 2 million rands. That easy. Yeah. Art is an investment. How do you formalize it? It starts by having a good phone. Yeah. Invest in a good phone, and then you start taking those beautiful pictures, and you start posting, and you start making noise about it. Then people will know where to find you. But if uhlele ekhaya nje ucabanga ukuthi bamfu they'll come knocking at your door, no one will come knocking at your door. You have to take yourself to the people. Even if you have to walk around Eshisanyama with your painting, someone will buy it on the day. Okay. Yes, girl. Last one.
One more question. Please, on the staying or
I'll stay a bit.
okay, you can ask a question afterwards, Nick.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's actually a follow-up on Nsako's question. In terms of, do you think there's a market for art in South Africa? And the reason I'm asking is because art is only seen as something that elite. Wow. Yes, it's a luxury product to have. Yeah. It's a nice to have. Yeah. And you know, I applaud South African artists like Nelson Makamo with his recent Porsche collaboration, the Esther Mahlangu and BMW, and that is beautiful. But I also feel like it's them who are at the top who have already received global recognition. Yeah. What about our artists and creatives? Is there a market for them?
Yes, there is a market, and we just need to support each other for something to be amazing. If you can afford to buy yourself a Louis Vuitton bag, which is like 35,000 rands, then you can still buy a painting at 5,000 rand from your neighbor who paints. Because it takes one person to believe in what you believe. And when you buy an art piece from anyone, it can be someone who's making sneakers, anyone that creates, when you buy something from them, you're actually giving them more time in this earth for them to feel like they have a purpose. And we need to encourage our kids or our nieces and nephews that, you know what, you have a beautiful gift, and I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna nurture it. Yeah, and then, yeah, we need to build each other. We need to support each other. You cannot say, oh, I saw an art piece from someone of a different race, and then, manja, you want to go and buy art piece as someone of a different race because it's going to give you street cred. Hey, vele when are you? You can buy it from your friend. If it's beautiful and you love it and it matches your decor in the house, just buy it, you know? But it's growing. It is going to grow. It's just that people are relearning what was already installed in our DNA.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Nomonde Fihla-Ngema. Thank you so much.